Got a pretty good read on where Shadow Esports is. Particardi will upgrade himself just a little bit. Yeah, why not get a late game just for the funsies? But Jexy kind of on the clock. Here for Shadow as the rest of his team is watching Myth currently.
And that part of the harbor is actually perfect for them. They've got bridges on multiple sides. Kamalzo takes some shots towards Kiss. See if they can take Myth out. Deny them space here. But utilities being thrown. Wangef as well go down to bgmi. As Lukarux also finds Duck Juice. Being a big fight here in the southern side and northern side. Multiple teams denied entry.
Yeah, two scraps going on at the same time. Myth versus Shadow and Gam versus Virtus Pro, while Liquid just kind of swims around, working their way towards the middle. Myth will use that smoke to get up to the walls. See if they can gain a little bit of safety here, as they were just getting peppered with utility in the middle of the street. But you can see just off in the distance, Gam has taken a few knocks. They will get their man Hwang F back on his feet, but Virtus Pro still 4 strong and being very methodical about how they push through.
Yeah, they know exactly where they are. They're looking for it. They're using utility to create space and to put pressure onto Gam. Lots of utilities being, and you know, Gam right now immediately disengaging from this fight here, trying to go towards the mid area. So we just have 1 player left from Shadow Esports, 3 players left from Gam, and 2 full rosters on Liquid and Virtus Pro.
How on earth does Myth make that way across and not take a single knock? As Shadow Esports, as you said, down to just Jexy. He's got the shotty in hand, hoping for the best. He's going to have the worst, as he does get the knock on a Scaffy, but nobody really near enough to capitalize on that, so Myth should be able to fully reset.
Oh, and then the next circle is straight onto the hub, and look at the amount of control that Liquid is setting up with controlling those bridges, those small ramps to get up, and that's going to be difficult for some of the team to make it in here. It looks like it's going to be ending just on the curb of the harbor edge.
What a circle to start things off here at Esports World Cup. Let's see. Oh, good grenade, and Cowboy with a follow-up will take down Lukarux. We'll try to return with the Molotov and flush out that kill. The smoke wall is blooming down, but good return utility from Virtus Pro. It's not going to be enough to save Luka, though.
Gonna be difficult here. Does VP just go onto and try to push onto Gam here? Next he finds Tanvu, big names to take down immediately here with the AUG and the headshot. And now Gam, it's a 3v2. Grix has been hit with the Molotov. Very methodical in their approach for this one here. Losing Lukarux is not going to be a problem for this engagement. bgmi still has a Panzerfaust as well. Glorious finds bgmi. Nixie gets found as well, but Correxy returns the fire out to Glorious. Wangef.
Wangef, the last player left alive, will take down Corexy, and it's going to take down Virtus Pro as Gam now up to 9 kills as they will try to get their man back up. Tanvu as a duo, very dangerous stuff for Gam, but Myth still 4 strong, inexplicably 4 strong after fighting their way from that northern side. Team Liquid has got the wide spread swimming around, but you can see that road, the role that it is going to play. It's Team Liquid start to kind of regather themselves, trying to figure out how they want to approach this late game. You got to imagine just not much utility in the bags left for any of these guys. Maybe Myth, that might be the only one.
Yeah, Myth have looted just a little bit here. Pretty curly.
Liquid looks actually
They've got
pretty stacked.
stuns. They got nades. They've got plenty. 8 kills for Liquid as well. If I'm looking at anything here, it looks like a Liquid victory. Liquid chicken dinner for this first game here. Just based on how they're set up, the amount of control they have. And also, look at the dot. It's just in their backyard with where we're going to be ending up. And Myth and Gam's going to be fighting each other. It looks like a perfect third-party setup for Liquid.
Lots of Doritos falling from the sky here as see whatever left of the smoke in the bag being put down by Gam, seeing if they can at least these walls. But Myth, just eyes on. Tanvu has the high ground. For now, he's going to jump down.
Same में पे डेंजर में हमारे उरे पर
A few more smokes left to drop down. Liquid is just waiting for all of these. As Ayla will take a little bit of damage. So Myth doing a good job of keeping eyes on where they need to go next, as well as the Luke 12 Molotov will take down Tanvu. Now the utility's starting to come out. Another one will take down Kiss from Myth. Baron goes down as well as Team Liquid start to assert their dominance here.
It's being perfectly deployed. Luke finds Jacob as well. It's a 4v1 here. Surely Team Liquid takes this first chicken dinner.
And that is one heck of a way to start off your Esports World Cup. Team Liquid in a boatyard finish manages to secure the victory with a nice stack of points to go along with it.
Absolute cinema here for Team Liquid. You can see how excited Extreme, their coach, is. What a way to do it. And also the control they had to move all the way through the boatyard from ruins, had to defend from full sends. Our PGC 2025 winners, and they did it easily, methodically, perfectly executed here for Team Liquid. What a way to do it.
Using everything in the bag as well. Mortars, grenades, Molotovs, guns. Team Liquid finding kills however they can get them. They managed to secure that first victory. But a lot of other big performers in that first game as well, though. We saw Myth. They have been looking so strong here in 2026. And they make it all the way to second place. But in the end, the fight from Team Liquid just a little bit too much.
Yeah, it was indeed. What a way to do it. Still 5 more games to play today here, but that is going to be such a moral booster, confidence booster for these guys here. I talked to them a little bit yesterday, and they were like, you know what? We're looking at and into all the teams that we're not used to playing against. It didn't matter. They just rolled up and dominated. And what a Panzer to find Jacob through the smoke there, denying the Panzer from Scappy as well. Wow. What a play here for Luke.
Good job, let's go. Get those comms. Yeah, they're very excited as well. They should be. As that was a chaotic late game, to say the least, as they were frogmen, essentially, Navy SEALs fighting from the water up onto the shore and into our hearts and into the leaderboard. Team Liquid, your game 1 winner.
And of course, with Liquid winning this one here, it's going to put them really far ahead of anyone. Last year we did look at something around 55 to 60 points cutoff. With the amount of kills they had with this one, along with the chicken dinner, it's going to put them so close to be able to go straight to that grand final.
All right, well, heck of a way to start things off. We are going to go take a quick break, and we will be right back with more PUBG.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by Play.
BGS Circuit 1 for Virtus Pro was a very interesting one because it meandered so weirdly. They did nothing in the first stage and second stage of PGS 1.
We started off pretty rough by missing some of our finals, but then we came strong and won one of the bigger finals we had so far this year. So I'd say it's been a bit up and down, but like we have adapted and improved a lot this year. I'd say it was like average performance for us. There was a lot of the ups and downs, but we're looking to show our best performance here at the EWC.
कौन से टीम को सपोर्ट कर रहे हो बताओ?
VB đang là một đối thủ rất mạnh và phong độ của họ đang rất tốt ở những giải đấu.
เพราะว่าเขามีเพลเยอร์อย่างนิกซี่แล้วก็
मेरा लाइट चला गया था यार,
ของ
वो
ทีม
लैपटॉप भी ऑफ हो गया था
มาก
मेरा।
เลยทำให้ทีมของเขาเนี่ยโดดเด่นขึ้นมาครับ
I think everybody will look at Nixie though as the guy for them, right? Claiming MVPs on the international stages and also doing it in a cool way. He's very nonchalant, one of the best players in the world because he grinds. He's a grinder, so we've got to pick Nixie.
There's no doubt in my mind it's BGMI because, you know, he's my superstar player from Team Denmark. He's a guy that has so much information readily available.
सीधा चलते हैं मैच पर।
It's time to take out lots of spanners, lots of works being thrown about here as we get to see all of our boys in the plane right now. Everybody looking a little bit more locked in. We started to see a little bit more gamer plays, a little bit more guys leaning forward this time as opposed to leaning back after that first game. But looks like we've got a pretty easy plane path going from southeast all the way to the northwest. So don't think we'll see any early game shenanigans once again.
Well, most of the teams
sounds
are
slow,
usual
better
and
sounds
of course, yeah, sure, you have to get some cars, maybe get into Yongchong for Virtus Pro, get some of that, get into your locked location here. For Team Liquid to be uncontested in Palace here, it does feel like it's going to be an easy qualification, maybe potentially even on day one, hitting that 60-point plus threshold would be amazing. AGL just south of them in that fishing camp here. A lot of teams in and around and close to Hosan. Tyloo trying to get into that area too. And Vitality trying to lock down here. Again, we've had some wild circles, and historically, so far this year, we've had a lot of them very wild on Tego as well.
A lot of hard shifts too, isn't it?
Yeah, and especially towards that water area. But we do have quite the east one here, southeast. A lot of the teams are already in and close to this area here. Centers up somewhat close to Buksansai here for Petrica Road. That could be a great one for them. 4am looking poised for this one too. Vitality. All fall strong, not having lost Levant to the star fragger. And they could having some high priority compounds in this start here from the second game.
So you mentioned the 60-point threshold. What do you mean by that exactly for the people at home that are watching?
Yes, of course, we have over the course of the 18 games we're playing in the groups, the teams are playing 12, and last year that 60-point threshold was around where we ended up being here. VP is looking to be pulling up onto Rex here. They saw he was a solo in this compound, and they are 2v1ing or 3v1ing this player right now. They're trying to put some pressure onto Rex. Shots are coming, headshot with the shotgun, and Lukrix jumps in to take him down. First player out. DN Supers is Rex here, and I love that punishment. They immediately saw it, and they know, knowing, of course, playing with BGMI here, they know that they usually take too much space around there, trying to take as much away from them from the beginning here and punish that greed that DN Supers have. They have both Go Dog, they have the south side, a lot of the compounds around this area here. And yeah, Virtus Pro, just from knowing and having played against these guys for so long, they knew they could punish that. And Rex is a great player to lose early on.
Yeah, that's a perfect combination of doing your homework and having that confidence to play as aggressive as possible, knowing how important every single point could be when it comes down to getting that cut line, making it above, getting into that top 16. As it looks like, did see some gunshots coming from Virtus Pro there as well at the end there, so I think Rex may be done for as that blue chip has most likely been destroyed. So Supers will be playing this one forward as 3. And they've got a long way to go to get inside this first zone.
And especially when you look at the circle, like that's the approach. You see, okay, we don't have any high priority going to this next circle here, so we have time to maybe go in and take, you know, one big name away from one of our huge opponents in DN Supers. So really love that approach. It's so VP, it's so smart. And you know, all with this, they're at 14 points total. They're going to be fragging their way into this final so far. And yeah, here with on board with R8 also have pretty good priority inside this next circle here. They could take some of these compounds away, but they could be bombing into Petrichor Road. And Petrichor Road has been looking great so far this year, obviously having the win in our Series 1 finals, the first PGS of this year. Looked great for them. Good performance out of them so far. Now with a red zone straight onto 4AM, close to Geeklay and close to Vitality too. It's going to be creating lots of space here. Space for him to set up maybe a little bit of a mole destruction if someone drives by.
Yeah, not too surprised to see this, as this has kind of become the story of Tego now that we have destructible terrain, is teams taking these, the top of these hillsides here, digging in little trenches and kind of playing in between, waiting like wolf spiders to eventually spring the trap on anybody that unfortunately gets too close. So we'll see if anybody falls into 4AM's trap as we check back in with Twisted Minds. Big wide 2-2 split here. That's getting a little bit close to Shadow Esports, but looks like they've got eyes.
And the 2-2 split is huge, keeping Perfectix and Tab on the northern side. Maybe for information onto VP here, Liquid is driving straight up and close onto VP. I see shots coming out as well, potentially a big fight here between Liquid and VP. Alo finds Nixie outside Jongchong. That was huge. Okay, look at that. It's a BDM for Twisted Minds. Okay. Team Liquid took a name away from VP here, trying to backfill that position inside Jongchong, maybe getting that bridge. I think VP was waiting because they now have a red zone coming in and close to them. Hopefully Perfectix doesn't lose this BDM to a red zone destruction. That would be insane.
I feel pretty bad about that. It looks like Team Liquid actually sticking around here, or Virtus Pro maybe just repositioning themselves while in the city of Yongchon. They're trading shots.
Sound right? No.
Back and forth. No more knocks coming through but just yet, but Supers is also starting to make their way over there as we do check in with the Polar Bears. After losing Nixie, that is another big loss for them. But honestly, anybody on Virtus Pro that gets lost is a big loss. They've all been playing so well together.
4AM. Finds Songjang here, one of the MVPs out of PWS. One of the GOATs. I remember him back in 2018. He's been here for a long time. Of course, representing Korea and PNC as well, just recently in Seoul, just a couple of weeks ago. And now he's here back with his team. They dominated the regional. And now he's here back to dominate once again. But yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate for him being involved this early here. Shen getting that kill. Superstar on these Chinese teams here.
I think EJ might have been going for the... Yeah, I think EJ is trying to go for the chip here. I'm not sure if he was able to get it yet or not, but definitely seems to be the plan. See if we can maybe get Songjang back. And he might be able to get it because it's really only Shen that's over here defending. The rest of 4AM already kind of making their way in. Remember, at the top of that hillside, kind of entrenched here as we check back in with Liquid. Virtus Pro still keeping tabs on them as they make their way through, but you can see Liquid, it looks like they've managed to avoid the barricade for the most part, and they've made it to the bridge.
Yeah, they're going to be going over the shipyard bridge now. And
oh, uh-oh.
Look how close it is. Yeah, Super's also getting close and involved here with VP. Multiple teams. Beamy now trying to go for this one here. Deal with a nade in hand, going straight for Beamy. No damage just connected just yet, but Beamy saw where the nade come from, so he could potentially see him just a little bit. That's a great nade. Gonna do some damage onto him. Doesn't knock him though, but let's see what VP and Dean Supers getting involved just again. And now it's gonna be a fair 3v3 since Liquid took one of the names away from VP.
Indeed. And yeah, this is Human going to find Beamy through the smoke. Will take down one player, but Virtus Pro not in really a position to save him either. So yeah, he's going to get run over. And now Corexi and Lucarux just left to try to send it across that bridge. But Super's already back in vehicles. Looks like they might be going for the chase.
Makes sense here. Down to a 2-man now for VP. And that's what you get when you involve yourself early on with some fights here. Dean Super's looking for an instant retaliation towards them, but it was Liquid to take the name from Human. Some good driving here.
I don't think that's supposed to do that.
Just waiting for his teammate. Oh, Twisted Minds, this next circle here, pre-driving towards the center, being ready for any potential setup. And it goes north here. Look at all the teams that's going to have to make moves here. Just 4 or 5 teams inside this current circle. Team Liquid is going to be surprised with the amount of space that's open ahead of them. Look at all the priority compounds on that northern side.
Yet another hard shift once again, and again, it's going to favor Team Liquid this time as they make their way in on that north side. As you mentioned, just nothing but miles of space, and they also know that they can expect Virtus Pro or Supers coming in from that northern side. So knowing that the potential threats that will be coming in from the north side are also pretty good when you're kind of playing from that edge location. As we check in with Shadow Esports, getting a little bit closer. Looks like they'll avoid them for the most part. Yeah, after getting those shots, just make their way into a safer spot.
अन्ना यहाँ पे PUBG PC का लाइनअप ही उठा लो पता है असराग और फ्यूजी को डाल देंगे असरा खेल लेगा PUBG PC पॉइंट स्कोर का लाइनअप ही उठा लो पता है असराग और फ्यूजी को डाल देंगे
We forget that Twisted Minds does have that BRDM. We've seen how important those vehicles can be coming to the late game. Twisted Minds, through so many teams on the south, trying to find their way in. It looks like still making their way into Tyloo, very far off to the south. Looks like they're going to wrap around to the west. But overall, looks like teams have kind of found a little spot to play here, although it looks like AGAL may be getting shot at by Liquid, but it's more just forcing them around here.
With this next circle here and how this pseudo river is on that eastern side here, and not that much space is going to be able to be played until we see that next circle pop here. Liquid being very greedy with the amount of space they're taking, especially this western compound is very breachable.
Slightly less greedy than I think they were planning to do, because they had left Alo up towards that revive station up on the northern side, maybe expecting somebody from Virtus Pro or Supers to try to make a run for it, but they will pull him back, instead play that tight 2-2 a little bit closer towards the center.
And especially if you have, you know, top 3 prior compound locked down already in your 4 guys line, I'd rather see them play to be for as long as possible, and especially with this next circle about to pop here. All the teams are coming in from that southern side. They have nobody except for AGL north of them here, so let's see what happens. Virtus Pro, last 2 players in that emergency pickup here, and it's indeed an emergency for them here. They're going across. They're seeing all the cars that's locked down, and potentially some guys are going to be shooting towards them. Maybe it's just a drop for an open space, or even towards a shack to take some of that central location.
PUBG PC में emergency को तो फैला हुआ है वाह.
Fortunately for them, it does donut up right towards the center, a little bit favoring west, but I think Virtus Pro maybe not having a good read on how heavy the south side of this zone might be, and maybe they think they might have spotted something along that riverbed that they can play. They're going to drop 2 down, but unfortunately they're right on top of Pensacola Road, and Corexi will find one, but maybe
PUBG PC में emergency को तो फैला हुआ है वाह.
Corexi will get spotted though, and he will get taken out. Virtus Pro going out in 16th place.
Yeah, from game 1 with 13 kills to last place in this one. Sure, they got a kill, but it ended up beating them.
खतरनाक है भाई इसमें तो.
Retaliation
स्लीपर जैसा हाल है, बंदे ऊपर से भी आ सकते हैं पर इसमें. PUBG PC में emergency को तो फैला हुआ है वाह.
so much space, so
another one of the Supers players going down. I think that's Guman and Deal now left as they'll make their way from the north on that dry riverbed. Liquid already in place. They're getting shot at in the backs and from the side by AGAL with a 2-2 split, but Nemesis is coming in here quickly. We'll see if Supers can survive a little bit longer as they get a little water on their tires.
It's going to be difficult. They're trying to get anything just to have just slight pause here in this circle here, but everyone is shooting at them. And in a lobby like this, in a competition like this, everyone just hits their shots, even from far away. Lots of pressure being applied to Supers here, and now they found a little space, a few rocks. Oh, Human down to 6 HP. Oh, Luke finds him from Team Liquid.
Oh, Luke just finding that mini right now as they will secure the point as well. And now Deal, the last player left alive for Supers, and he is not in any better position than he was just moments ago as he will retreat back to the rock. Actually going to try to send it right in because I think the shots from Geeke and AGAL on that eastern side of the river a little bit too much, but Deal going to push right into the midst of Myth.
And if this next circle does not go north, we're going to have an absolute slaughter in those fields. Look how many teams. It's so congested already. And with Myth holding on to just a little bit of an open space, they're going to be able to pop out and put some pressure on. They already got lots of pickaxes going on here. They're going to be molding up and putting some pressure onto some of these teams that's in the fields, but now, let's see, just 10 more seconds, and we're going to see that next circle. We're going to be ending up here. Twisted Mind still aggressive with the space they're controlling, too.
Surprising, haven't seen any mortars really come into play yet. Do you maybe hold on to those a little bit longer, wait for the next circle, maybe?
As you say that, doing it up once again here. Half fields, half a few compounds in space where Myth is, and Myth actually holding on to tons of control. And as you talk about it, mortars are coming in.
It's like Vitality. I'm going to send a few over, but they're just not finding the mark as the skies have started to light up with these mortars. As soon as that circle popped, Thanadol will get that knock on a Duck Juice. Big game for GAM to start things off, but now they are down to 2, maybe down to 1 here as Duck Juice will get flushed out. GAM in a little bit of trouble.
And honestly, around especially the TDM fields and the TDM hill here in the southern side, they have quite the information and control from Full Sense here. They're going to hold out GAM, they're going to have a fight with R8, and then they're going to be bringing the fight to all the other teams in this fields here. AGL with a big send on that eastern side. But Tulins finds an R8 player here, but and more. Oh, look at the nades coming in. Lots of damage done. Beautiful. Finds another knock on J-Jar.
Perfectly placed, as you would expect from our defending champions. R8 down to just Teddy and Empty, fighting in from that southeastern side. Batulins right back into that BRDM. Go make sure you collect that point. Don't want anybody stealing that away. As we said before, every point so precious here as GAM will try to send it right through. You see it on your mini-map. Clories and Wong F go right into the teeth of Tai Lu.
He's knocked onto the car, Boro, and it's, blown up onto him, so that's just going to bleed out and be confirmed later on. Perfectic finds Wong F and gets flushed immediately by Tab. Meanwhile, it's Mehmet finds Salalsi. And GAM Esports is going to be out in 15th place here. It's going to be a good game for Twisted Minds. The amount of control they have already. Spaceman, though, finds the confirmation onto Salalsi for Angryman being extremely angry and holding on to this location against AGAL.
Keeping eyes on any potential third partiers here. This fight is taking a little bit longer than I think maybe they would have liked here as Hemas will find Spaceman. He's going to go down as he will jump peeking through the smokes. The grenade's going to land. It's going to find him. Great grenade from Hemas. And now 4 a.m. is up against it. Shen on the riverside will find the spray window. Will finish him off as Hemas just peeks past the smoke. Will reveal himself just enough, but he should be able to survive a little bit longer. But now Nemesis is starting to make their way down here on the riverbank as well. They could get involved in a third party.
Yeah, I like that. That's a great setup for them potentially to be able to third party this fight, get some points, steal some knocks away. Now Shen's taking lots of damage from Nemesis here. He's down to half HP. And Winda is going to have to try to make space and maybe potentially get this confirmation on to him as the rest did come off. He's low, he's going to have to heal, but they are disengaging just a little bit. They're trying to maintain control of this little crevice that they've held on to. Oh my God, it's a double nade from Winda.
Beautifully placed, beautifully cooked. the discipline to drop two smokes first, and then Window will find him again. AGAL gets wiped, but Window will go down to Sosid. Can Shen get that revive? He's already in vehicle, trying to go over there and defend his teammate.
This is great for Nemesis, great for Deal, but Shen is going to have to go and try to put out some utility, get some smokes deployed. They're not inside this next circle here that starts moving in 30 seconds. To see all the fans cheering on all these teams here. The Esports World Cup.
Nemesis maybe being a little bit distracted here. Weren't able to capitalize off of that knock that they got on the 4 a.m., so they are able to get Winda back on his feet. And Nemesis will actually regroup. They've got Melman kind of the tip of the spear here. A little bit close. They've got Myth on the other side of the ridge line, but they've got to worry about how they're going to get into zone. As Shen will find Deal, and that's going to do it for Supers. He had to go somewhere. Unfortunately, Deal will go right into 4 a.m.'s waiting arms.
Yeah, what a clutch from Window. Taking down AGL.
Massive.
Big names to take out here. Nemesis, are they too passive for this fight here? Are they just really aware that this next ridge is just about in and they want a third party and have a bit of a fight here? But Window is too quick about it. Now Nemesis is opening up, taking lots of damage, putting it onto Shen. Sosit finds him. Twisted Minds also fighting R8 on the other side here, but this is the next big fight for space we're going to have in between 4 a.m. and Nemesis.
They've got to make their way through the raid boss here. Winda, 7 kills now for 4 a.m. already. Starting to get that snowball rolling just a little bit. Although they would like to get a little bit more placement here, they're managing to get points through kills and keeping themselves in the conversation, which is all you can really ask for as Nemesis. Try to pull up, do the drive-by, see if they can spot him, but Winda playing a little bit sneaky, not going to matter. Sosid will finish him off. That's 2 kills now for Nemesis.
Surgically perfect for them to do exactly this here. Now they have the space on the eastern side, and now they're going to put pressure on everyone across the road here. Example finds empty. That is R8 out in 11th place, and Twisted Minds continues their onslaught onto this western side of the circle. So much space control. Fulsen's also looking great for that southern side here. We're closing in on the fields. It looks like a fields ending to me here, but look at that northern side power. So many teams about to fight.
A lot of teams, and you can see Team Liquid starting to creep in. You saw Alo hopped on that mortar for a second. Not sure if he was aiming at somebody or just trying to create space for them to crash. But right now, they do have a little bit of a foothold here right on the edge. Will keep those vehicles alive as best they can. Keep those smokes recycled, but they are right in grenade range. Myth come active, and they will find 2 immediately. Get another one on a Cowboy. Alo now, the last player left alive as grenades rain down on Team Liquid.
Oh my God, what a way to hold on to utility until the time you know exactly when another team pulls up. They create a pseudo red zone with that amount of nades coming towards Team Liquid. Go from 4 to 1 immediately. Sosit finds Scabby. What a way to third party for Nemesis, pulling off onto Myth.
Beautiful timing here for our Nemesis. They catch Myth out a little bit. The mortars are starting to fall through as well, though. Kiss will get the knock on a Melman, and that's going to force Nemesis to pull back a little bit. But Diffix is already across the street. They have to commit to this fight. They've got the smokes laid down, but Myth is returning the fire. They still got a little bit of utility left, and Levante is actually going to get the knock on a Diffix. So Nemesis now on the back foot.
Yeah, outside this new circle here, everyone's third-partying this fight here. They know Myth is a contender. Nemesis pulled up great. Getrax gets bound as well. Stade gets knocked as well. Petrogorod deeply involved into this third party as Nemesis and Myth struggle to get into this circle.
Just full third and fourth partying coming from the south side here. Sosit now the last player left alive. Blue tickling his heels. Kiss will get the knock. He will get the flush, and he will take down Nemesis. Myth now down to 3 players, but they probably could have lost a lot more there. Great recovery from them.
Getting a little bit of kills for them. 3 so far. Could have gotten more. Belmont finds Gedrox. A lot of teams fighting for space. And this next circle goes northwest. Twisted Minds are laughing. Their compound they've been holding on to for so long is still inside. And there's sharks in the water with that BRDM. Tai Lu holding on to that corner. But so many teams are going to be pressuring from that eastern side here. And they're on the other side. So I see a lot of teams could potentially put some pressure onto them. I don't think they're going to be able to reinforce and hold 3 teams off from that spot that they're currently in here.
Park Pro, the Bush Monster, trying to stay here as long as he could, but it'll be time to move here soon as Shadow Esports. They were fourth row. They're right above. EJ will take down 1, but will go down in the end as Shadow Esports tries to crash down. Twisted Mind sees all of this happening just uphill, but they've got the compound, they've got the BRDM. They have a direct path into late game. There's no reason to get over here and get involved in this just yet, but Myth, they might get involved as they will find the angles. More utility being sent over in that direction. We've already seen how successful they can be as Alo will get the knock on to Jacob. The third party from Liquid comes in, but he will go down in the end. Team Liquid out.
What a nade's going to come out from Kamals here. We're down to just 2 players from Shadow. Kiss finds Kamals, though. Levante also finds the nades onto I-26 here. We're down to just Kiss and Baron. He's going to have to heal. He's down to just 23 HP. Full 3-gear turret, but nades comes in from Setsuna. Myth goes down to just 1 player. Baron's going to have to put pressure onto him. He's half HP up on that hill here. Myth is struggling to stay alive inside this circle.
The timing might be good for him, though, because Petrichor Road and Vitality were third-partying this, but now they're fighting each other on the south side, so they might be able to get a moment here to breathe, maybe to reset, as Baron tries to finish off Setsuna. Oh, another good grenade, though. It's just not going to be on time.
Kid's going to go down to that. It's just going to crawl out on the edge. Might be able to survive.
Goodness.
Smokes are deployed from Baron here, and Myth trying to hold on to everything as this next circle has popped towards them. Got a lifeline straight out here now. Again, sharks in the water. Batsulin's looking at Setsuna. He's backing up the BRDM, maybe considering to put some pressure onto this. One Dragon does find Hello My Bad. Vitality's been alive for quite a while here, but this next fight with Petrichor Road and Tyloo bound to be happening.
Yeah, Vitality, most of them took the fight against Petrichor Road, and they will win that fight, as Petrichor Road will go down in the end, but they do lose a couple of players in the process. Levante and Quizzy now the last 2 players left alive. Tyloo has been hanging out here in the middle for quite some time.
क्या पता सिर्फ मैं ब्रेक पे गेम को अभी समझ नहीं आ रहा मैं भी समझ ही रहा हूँ उसे देखते देखते
Pickaxes go to work, but now Full Sense is trying to make the push on the Twisted Minds.
समझ नहीं आ रहा मैं भी समझ ही रहा हूँ उसे देखते देखते
Coming in here, Sample finds Ticket though.
समझ नहीं आ रहा मैं भी समझ ही रहा हूँ उसे देखते देखते
Continues to rain bullets towards mid. This is low. He's going to be hurt by the circle just a second. He's going to be able to
चिकना नहीं इसे अच्छा बोलते हैं इसे स्मूथ स्किन बोलते हैं इसे चिकना नहीं बोलते रोजी तुमसे ज्यादा गोरा हूँ इसलिए तुम जल रही हो पता है जलना बोलते हैं रोजी इसे
Gotta have your head on a swivel there, Flash. Belmont, rather, as he gets
स्मार्ट तो है उसरा तेरा भाई
eliminated in the end here as Full Sense have lost 2. It's just down to Thanadol and Flash. Looks like the rest of Twisted Minds, after losing Batu and the BRDM, they are still holding strong in the compound. A little bit more utility. Thanadol going to find Perfectix. It's a good knock to open up the door here. Tab tries to go for the res, but the push comes through. He will win the 1v1, though. And now that is Full Sense taken down.
Pick him up, get him into the other part of the compound here. Smokes is coming in here. As everything is being involved. Tyloo being able to survive the onslaught for so many teams, still being 4 alive. Extremely impressed with that. And now we're down to just 3 teams. Myth with 2, Twisted potentially with 3, and Tyloo with 4. But they have a lot of space ahead of them. They're going to have to move out of this corner just shortly when this next circle starts to move here. And 3 gears coming out from Myth here. We did see an arm in play, but now Kong, look at this. It's going to set up a mortar potentially towards Myth.
I think that would be the easiest target here. Yet Hong Kong looking off in that direction. See how close he can get. But once again, this is a late game Myth. Already 9 kills, and they have been fighting their way in. Will it land where it needs to? No. Not a bad idea sending it over towards that rock, but Myth just not there.
They are looking up, eyes in the skies here for this one. You're going to have to try to dodge as much as you can without exposing yourself to other lines of sight. Myth trying to dodge and weave this one here. Baron still with arm in hand, but now potentially losing his car. No, he did stop it. And now he's going to try to... Oh, damage done! 78 damage from the arm. Straight to the body of Lee.
This is a terrifying duo to have to deal with. Even if they're down to 2, and even if they're in a bad position, they do not go down easily. And they've got some pretty big weapons in the bag. Tyloo does need to be careful here, as they're going to continue to empty the bag. Send a few more mortars in. But Baron and Kiss doing a good job of keeping those smokes down, and unfortunately the mortars just not landing where they need the smoke.
Now they're inside the circle.
Smarty
They got some
boy.
big boys here. If they can get a little bit lower ground and start maybe using the pickaxe just a little bit, they might be able to create some space ahead for themselves. The circle does look like to be ending up close to this center rock here. And if you're able to maintain or grab control of that early on here, the next fight is bound to be happening. And it looks like it's going to be Twisted Minds and TyLoo.
That's it, yeah. It's just basically try to survive long enough.
Mates.
As the nades will start coming through, they're going to land close. They're going to do a lot of damage. But one will bounce a little bit too far. That one will take down Example. The tab will be able to stick the heel in time, but more grenades being sent over in that direction. It's going to fall just shy.
Quick rest here onto Example. Now TyLoo advancing, getting control. Look, Baron actually already got control on this one here. They're looking to third party. They're looking to put...
अरे लाइट चला गया मेरा लाइट.
They do as much damage as they can to each other here. Kong does do some damage onto Perfectix. Look, full gear on...
मेरी लाइट वाली की बंदी भाग गई. क्या पता क्या हुआ.
It's going to be a huge fight in between these
जैसे स्ट्रीम चालू किया हूँ चौथी बार कटी है लाइट साली.
Took advantage of that briefest of moments where TyLoo was distracted by Twisted Minds and took the spot, took the rock closest to the circle. They are not out of this thing yet. As TyLoo has set themselves up here. The smokes are down, but Perfectix and the boys are not waiting. They're going to push right in. They'll find two. They'll find three. They're down to just one. TyLoo, can he do anything magical here? Example's going to go down as one dragon.
यार बार-बार लाइट जा रही है यार. क्या बताऊँ दिक्कत है साला.
Coming in here big for Twisted Minds here at the end.
Outskirt, last player finds Example again. Now two is knocked here. It's down to Perfectix. He does have the 3 gear. Lots of damage.
आधे घंटे के लाइव में 10 बार लाइट जा चुकी है. क्या बताऊँ.
Put up the deployable shield. He knows that smoke is about to go away, so he has to drop some hard cover here. The train comes through, and Myth will improbably get the win. The fight from the north was so difficult, but what
light went on.
in Thailand.
What a way to do it. Two-man team. Baron and Kiss locking this down. And remember, they had an onslaught onto Team Liquid. They got third party. They got pulled up on. They survived. Not two-man here. It was perfect, of course.
आधे घंटे के लाइव में 10 बार लाइट जा चुकी है.
Performance from him. What a famous headshot he was able to apply to so many of these players here. But yeah, it seemed difficult. It seemed impossible for Twisted Minds to do this. And yeah, that center control, that rock we were talking about in the dead center, they're able to take it at just the right time. And those peaks, Myth being able to do this and get this done here. Here's on screen. Had the pleasure of playing a little bit of pool with him in PNC, and he's hitting every single shot in game and on the pool table.
I'm telling you, man, Myth feels like one of those teams right now where everything is just playing out in slow motion for him.
Yeah.
Like it felt like there was 3 or 4 times in that round where they absolutely should have been wiped, but somehow, some way, they managed to come out on top. And in the end, it comes down to a 1v1, Perfectix versus Kiss. 1,000 damage done almost there for Kiss.
Yeah, and 7 kills to come along with it. What a way for Myth to show that they are in form. Just coming from that PGS2 circuit final win.
I mean, we've talked about it. They've come in here probably as the hottest squad after getting 2 wins, really, in that circuit 2.
Yeah.
PGS
won the first series in the circuit 2, yeah.
Yeah, first series, and then, yeah,
break in that middle series there, but then coming back and then smashing, doubling the points of second place, and that's just unheard of. They broke all the records we've seen prior to PGS, and just show what they're made of. Very impressed with Myth so far. And yeah, with this game here, being able to put out that amount of points after what we saw from them in game 1 as well. So close, even potentially after this day, going straight to that final after just having played half of their games.
Well, it's a pretty scary thing for the rest of the lobby to see. They know what happens when Myth gets a lead. They know what can happen when Myth starts that snowball in the right direction. They've seen it before. They might be seeing it again here soon as Myth gets a massive win here in game number 2. Also, gotta say, first game, they didn't do too bad there either. They got a nice little stack of kills for themselves despite going out a little bit early. Remember, they were the ones that crossed over the road, took down Shadow Esports, fighting their way in. But to start things off here, we do have an interview with Purdy Curdy from Liquid. Let's throw it down to Caleres.
That's right. Thank you very much, boys. Here I am indeed with Purdy Curdy, talking to him mostly about that game number 1 here from the tournament so far. So thank you for joining me, Purdy, here. Let's start things off with that map on Erangel. The boatyard finish. Not something that we see too often at all. Can you talk to me about that? Obviously, you guys were holding full sense. I want to know about like what you were thinking about all the other threats around whilst you were holding them. How much information did you have about where teams were in boatyard?
We were pretty well set with information. I think the biggest thing for that game specifically was at some point Luke goes, "I've got a mortar." I said, "Set that fucking thing up." Like, full sense is our biggest threat, and the fact that he was able to get some mortars off on them made our game very easy.
That felt like a shortest range mortar, like 120 meters or something.
Exactly. Yeah.
Fair. Let's move on then about the new circles, of course. It's not too many tournaments we've been playing with them, and you're going to have a lot of water in. A boatyard finish, obviously extremely uncommon as a whole. What do you think about these new circle settings? I saw that you guys had zipline guns available and stuff like that. What do you make of it?
Yeah, that's the new land ratio in effect, for sure. That mixed with the speed of the earlier zones, it makes for some chaotic moments, and hopefully you guys enjoy them, because I don't.
Hey, what the viewers get to enjoy, I know it's going to be difficult for the players, and it makes things a lot more spicy and a bit more chaotic. Let's finally finish up with, how has prep looked like for you guys for EWC? Because, of course, I think that there's been moments where